The 2025 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix was not just another chapter in Ferrari's long history in Formula One. It was a moment that revealed more than just tyre strategies and overtakes. It exposed the mental toughness, calm decision-making, and silent leadership of Lewis Hamilton inside the Ferrari garage. With 17 laps to go and a safety car bunching the field, both Ferrari drivers found themselves faced with a race-defining decision: pit for fresh, soft tyres or stay out on the worn mediums. It was in this moment that Hamilton's surprising radio message didn't just shock Ferrari, it shifted the balance of power within the team. The grandstands were shaking as the yellow flags came out. A safety car was deployed after Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes came to a halt on the run to Tosa. Suddenly, what seemed like a race slowly drifting to conclusion turned into a tense, strategic sprint to the finish. This was what Hamilton had been brought to Ferrari for. These were the moments when instinct had to blend with data, when experience had to shape outcomes. Hamilton, now in the red suit of Ferrari, faced the challenge alongside Charles Leclerc, who had long considered himself the natural leader of the team. As the safety car compressed the field, every decision became critical. Ferrari's pit wall, led by engineers Brian Bozzi and Riccardo Adami, opened up their laptops and ran simulations. The data showed a 51% chance of gaining positions by pitting and nearly the same chance of getting stuck behind traffic. The soft tyres were fast, but might not last the distance. The medium tyres were safe, but fading. Both engineers looked at the same numbers but reached different conclusions. Then came the calm voice of Lewis Hamilton over the team radio. No panic, no confusion. Just a simple question that cut through the noise. If we stop now, how many positions do we give up? It wasn't just a question, it was the sound of experience. Hamilton wasn't asking out of doubt, he was weighing the options like an auditor in a boardroom. Adami responded with clear data, outlining rivals' tyre conditions and expected lap times. Hamilton asked again, "Tell me which compound is best." This moment became the turning point. Bozzi didn't give an order. He gave options. Hamilton made the choice. He called box, and the team executed the stop flawlessly. 2.1 seconds, 4 soft tyres bolted on, and the SF25 was back on track, just behind 3 midfield cars. It was a bold decision, but one made with clarity and confidence. On the other side of the garage, Charles Leclerc was still on track. He had seen Hamilton dive into the pits through his halo. His engineer muttered, "Lewis has chosen to stay out," miscommunicating the reality of the situation. That sentence spread fast, becoming a meme by Monday morning. Leclerc's heart rate jumped. He stayed out, trusting track position over fresh rubber. But by the time he realized his medium tires were no longer effective, it was too late. The safety car lights had gone out, the race was back on, and Hamilton was flying. Hamilton's pace was stunning. On the brand new soft tires, he gained over 3 km/h through medium-speed corners and braked 6 meters later into Rivazza. His driving was smooth, calculated, each corner a display of precision. Meanwhile, Leclerc's tires were struggling, oversteer at Ac Minerali, poor traction, and a car that was no longer a weapon, but a burden. Within 8 laps, Hamilton had gone from 9th to 5th, overtaking an Alpine, a McLaren, and Fernando Alonso's Aston Martin. Each pass was executed with the calmness of a veteran. The 2 Ferrari cars, identical in machinery, were delivering very different outcomes. Hamilton looked like a driver in complete control. Leclerc looked like a man battling himself as much as the car. When the checkered flag fell, Max Verstappen took the win. But the real story was happening behind the pit wall. Ferrari's team, Principal Fred Vasseur, thanked both drivers but avoided naming names. It was a small gesture, but one that didn't go unnoticed. In the garage, Hamilton removed his earpieces, walked over to a counter and began reviewing data. He asked for brake duct photos. He looked at tire temperatures. He studied the race. Leclerc, meanwhile, left with his physio, venting frustrations. 2 different approaches. One focused on learning and preparing for the next race, the other trying to process what had just happened. In Formula One, both are valid, but only one approach echoes in the data rooms and wind tunnels on Monday morning. This wasn't just about one race. It was a reminder of why Hamilton has 7 world championships. He turns mistakes into learning opportunities. He asks questions before the window closes. He doesn't wait for hindsight. He creates foresight. Engineers respect that. Teams rely on that. At Ferrari, where political capital is earned in tenths of a second, Hamilton's calm composure is becoming his biggest asset. The Italian press quickly picked up on the story. Memes circulated showing Hamilton as Il Comandante Silenzio, the silent commander. It's not just a nickname, it's a recognition of leadership without shouting, direction without drama. History remembers drivers like Alain Prost, Mika Hakkinen and Nico Rosberg, who led with silence and let their results speak. Back in the motorhome, Hamilton was still analyzing. He zoomed into Sector 2, logging blister patterns on his left rear tire. He was already thinking about Monaco. Leclerc, meanwhile, was having dinner with friends, replaying the moment he didn't. Pit? Both drivers had different evenings and both had different mindsets. Hamilton's mindset was one of building, of shaping the future. Leclerc's was still trapped in the past, in the race that could have been. At Ferrari, this race became a turning point. It wasn't about points on the board, but points of influence inside the team. Engineers want drivers who speak their language, calm, data-driven, forward-looking, and Hamilton was that voice. The safety car period that lasted just a few minutes had revealed something deeper, a shift in who Ferrari might listen to when it matters most. As the transporters left Imola and headed for Monaco, the paddock was already buzzing. Yes, Verstappen had won, but inside Ferrari, the weekend belonged to Hamilton. He had shown what true leadership looks like, not by barking orders, but by making the right call when it counted. And now with the Monaco Grand Prix on the horizon, Ferrari knows that in Lewis Hamilton, they don't just have a champion. They have a commander. At the start of the race, no one expected the defining moment to come under the safety car, but Formula One has a way of creating pressure cooker moments that reveal everything. Hamilton's radio message was not loud, it was not dramatic. But it was the moment the team realized who they could trust, when the margin between victory and failure was a heartbeat. In Monaco, where precision and calm will matter even more, Ferrari will again face decisions under pressure. And they now know that Hamilton's voice, calm and controlled, is one they can rely on. Because races are not just won with horsepower, they are won with headspace. And on that Sunday in Imola, Hamilton proved that his mindset might just be Ferrari's most powerful upgrade yet. It was more than just a strategic call, it was a message to the team, to the fans, and to the sport. Lewis Hamilton is not here to follow, he is here to lead, and he doesn't need to shout to do it. The 2025 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix will be remembered not for who stood on the top step, but for who truly stood out when it mattered most.